Hello, and welcome to the semi-final of Portrait Artist of the Year. There's a heady mix of exhilaration and trepidation in the air.
Today's artists were ahead of the game and won their heats with an eclectic mix of paintings of, well, heads, plus a silly hat and even a puppet.
So, who will be pulling the strings today?
There's only one way to find out. It's the semi-final of Portrait Artist of the Year.
Over the last 7 weeks, we've seen over 60 of the UK and Ireland's finest portrait artists, painting an assortment of well-known faces.
Boom.
Try and make me look less chubby if you can.
Oh, you're bear with me. I actually feel really emotional.
Wow. I'm having a moment.
What is that, the evil eye? Very James Bond.
Just, wow. I don't know what else to say.
Coming top in their heats, 7 artists continue their journey with us.
Incredible, I was not expecting it. God, my heart is racing.
They're one step closer to winning a £10,000 commission to paint actor and broadcaster Sir Lenny Henry for the permanent collection at the National Portrait Gallery.
On the lookout for some exceptional talent are our judges.
Well, I'm going to be stressing, I'm going to be chewing my nails and egging the artists on, because with some of them I don't know where the path ahead lies.
But with just 3 places available in the final,
The whole day is quite intense. I almost feel on the brink of tears.
our semi-finalists will have to up the ante in order to stand out from the very best artists of the series.
Have you got a vision in your mind of what it's going to look like at the end of the day?
I just want to... No.
The artists who won their heats and secured a coveted semi-final place this year are Owen Lennox, a retired secondary school art teacher from Essex. Karen Galea, a fine art student living in Oxford. Morag Keister, a professional artist who splits her time between the UK and Albania. And Tim Tozer, an art professor at a university in Wisconsin.
I don't know what I'm going to be painting, who I'm going to be painting, how it's all going to work, so it's a kind of abstract worry about, like, everything going wrong, I suppose.
They're joined in the semi-final by Binny Matthews, a professional artist from Dorset, Noah Rush, a 19-year-old fine art student from South London, and Jude Wainwright, who works in creative branding for bars in Manchester.
I feel quite anxious. I just want to get in, really. Just want to see who it is, get going, then I'll be fine. I think.
But this year, the judges have done something unexpected.
We've got a bit of a curveball. We've invited an artist back. The standard was so high this year, and we just kept thinking, maybe someone's got away from us, and it's Nina Raminska.
Nina's work has got a particular flavour, the kind of sense of melancholia, which we all love, married with a really beautiful sense of colour. She does something nobody else does, and that's why she's here.
It's just great to be given another chance. It's going to be a challenge, but I'll just take whatever the universe will give me.
The artists are returning to the familiarity of the Grand Hall of Battersea Arts Centre.
Wow, this is lovely.
To find it has been transformed from how it looked at the heats.
That's amazing.
Lots of shapes and a big pink chair.
Look at that gold in the background.
Nice. As always, we've challenged our artists with the set. I mean, it's full-on glamour. There's a lot going on. Bold colours, gold, big lights, and they've got to think carefully about their composition.
With a microphone there, who do you think it's going to be?
Oh.
A broadcaster, perhaps?
I thought singer.
I think semi-final day is the most important. We have our 8 artists, all with different styles. I want to see that style develop and respond to the sitter, and I want to see them grow as artists.
Somehow time just passes differently here compared to being in your studio. It goes much faster.
To be one of our finalists, the artists need to give us a real authentic sense of the character that's sitting in front of them today, show that they are commissionable for one of our national institutions.
It's a marathon, not a sprint. I think, is that right?
Artists, congratulations on reaching this stage of the competition. I'm sure you're very keen to know who you'll be capturing today for your semi-final challenge, so without further ado, let me sing their praises. Your sitter is a MOBO-nominated, multi-platinum singer and songwriter. She captured the nation's hearts when she competed on X Factor 12 years ago and has wowed audiences ever since with her smoky, soulful voice. Please welcome Rebecca Ferguson.
I'm so excited. Lovely to meet you. Hi. Lovely to meet you.
Hello.
Hi.
Have a seat. Now tell me, art, are you a fan?
Big fan. I actually collect portraits. 17th century, 18th century, French portraits mainly, yeah.
OK, what do you like about them?
I loved how they dressed up. I love
Right.
that they put the Sunday best on and that everything in the paintings had symbolism and it meant something. Because I feel like just looking at a portrait, you can see into the soul.
And talking of putting on your best, what a fantastic outfit. Thank you for bringing so much glamour to today.
Well, I can't be in my jeans and T-shirt and then have all these other paintings in the house, so I thought, well, I'll dress up a bit. Sorry about the sequins.
The sequins.
Someone did say, that is not fair, that is mean. I was like, I wasn't thinking of that, I'm sorry.
We want to see every single sequin perfectly replicated, please. I'll leave you to it. Thanks, Rebecca.
Thank you. Right, I will get cosy.
Artists, the spotlight may be on Rebecca, but it's the semi-final, so it's your chance to shine. You have 4 hours to complete your portraits. Good luck, everyone. Your time starts now.
Sorry, this must be really weird.
No, don't worry.
Having won their heats, the artists know what to expect and are off to a flying start. However, today's sitter has caused some to change their initial plans.
When I saw Rebecca, I thought, oh, OK, she's amazing. She's got a beautiful head. Well, my thoughts on the composition have changed from my initial ideas. It's just head and shoulders, so we don't get all that beautiful dress that she's in. I think if she'd been standing, then I would have done a full-length portrait. Maybe it's crazy of me to do this. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Binnie Matthews is a professional artist from Dorset. At the Heats, she painted an ambitious 3/4-length portrait of former Director-General of MI5, Dame Stella Rimington. The judges felt her brave use of scale and colour was a perfect way to capture her sitter.
Binnie, you made a cracking start, but something completely different.
Yeah, but of course I didn't really know what I was going to do until I could see the sitter. But then look at her, you know, look at her head. It is amazing. So I just thought, you know what, I'm just going to paint her beautiful head, just celebrate it, rather than painting, you know, more for the sake of it.
In your last painting of Dame Stella, you moved across the painting. Everything was happening at the same time. Now, here, you're concentrating on the head. Will you still move across the canvas?
Yeah.
Fabulous.
It's going to be like a landscape, isn't it? Her head is like a landscape.
Where some artists choose to commit to a composition straight away, others prefer to spend time contemplating various options.
Rebecca's great. I'm a little bit nervous about her dress, those sparkles, and the jewellery as well. It's quite a challenge, so I'm just trying to figure out how I'm going to approach that.
Morag Keister is a professional artist who splits her time between Albania and the UK. At the Heats, she formed a strong connection with her sitter, author and podcaster Elizabeth Day. This helped her to produce a portrait that the judges felt was intelligently thought through and beautifully delicate.
Morag, an empty sheet before you. Tell me what's happening.
To be honest, I couldn't quite figure out what materials to use.
Okay, and these are your compositional drawings down at the bottom.
This was just to kind of practice the different materials.
And what's this one?
This was just practicing on this paper some of the pastels.
Yeah.
Just like a quick colour study. So I think I'm going to go with oil paint.
Okay, so I mean, it's like as you're a kid in a sweet shop. You could be pastels, could be oils, and you've got to make those decisions early on and stick to them, right?
Yes.
Okay, well, I'm intrigued even by these tiny little sketches, Morag, so we're looking forward to seeing it on this big blank piece of paper.
Owen, how do you reckon Rebecca is as a sitter? What are you going to do about the sequins?
I might get some of the sequins in, but that'll be right at the very end if I have the time.
And the hair is very elaborate too.
Oh, you've got lots of different textures. You've got to try and do what's in front of you.
So it's a chance to show off.
Yes, showing off's a good word. Yes, art is showing off for introverts.
We like that. Brilliant. Owen Lennox is a retired secondary school art teacher from Essex. His Heat portrait of poet and novelist Benjamin Zephaniah was celebrated by the judges as a beautifully and solidly constructed head. Well, now, you painted Benjamin Zephaniah
Yes.
with great flourish
Yes.
to win your place here.
Yes.
But here you are working with a crayon.
I'm going to be working with oils, but I'm adding a little bit of colour this time into the drawing, so it does some of the work for me. Because it's the semi-final, I thought I'd try something different.
So you decided to live dangerously?
Yes.
Stick with us and it will get exciting.
While many of our artists are working from life and relying on their instincts, one of our semi-finalists has a far more technical approach. Having taken and printed a photograph, she meticulously transfers an exact outline of the sitter to her canvas before adding paint.
Last time, I composed my subject quite quickly, but this time I really worked on how I'm going to place everything on the canvas. So I took a lot of photos and I finally chosen one, I think, perfect angle. That is what I'm painting right now.
Karen Galea is from the Philippines and moved to Oxford to study fine art. In the Heats, she painted astronaut Helen Sharman and won the judges over by combining painterly passages with a hyper-realist approach.
Karen, you're slowly putting in all the colour.
Yes.
You're all about precision.
Yep.
I mean, that must make you quite nervous, though, because you have so much more to do than everybody else.
Yeah, but I'm quite relaxed right now.
Are you?
Last time.
Are you interested in Rebecca liking your portrait the best? Because, I mean, did she tell you about her own collection of 17th and 18th century portraits?
Yeah, I actually took that into consideration. I picked this pose. If I'm gonna do a headshot, there's not too much drama on it.
Okay.
So that's why I included the hands.
And would you avoid all the sparkles and the glitter?
I'll see how it goes.
But it's looking stunning.
Thank you so
And we have
much.
confidence in you.
Thank you.
The artists are nearly 1 hour into their 4-hour semi-final challenge.
I haven't really got a plan, I'm just painting it. The likeness is fairly easy to accomplish, but it's just the way I put the paint on, the scale of the painting, but the whole kind of plan thing isn't really a thing for me.
It feels so much more difficult in this setting than in my studio. It's so weird. You just think about things a lot more, so I'm trying to get out of that.
Behind schedule, and I don't want to get into a panic, because then that would be fatal. Stress is good, It's de-stress that it's bad.
Here at the semi-final of Portrait Artist of the Year are artists of 1 hour into painting multi-award-winning musician Rebecca Ferguson. For some, the first half of the challenge is crucial as they nail down composition and lightness. But for one, the pressure is off.
This stage is very rough, very loose. It doesn't really matter about the colours or the form, to be honest. This is just me working out how I want to paint her, so none of this really matters. But yeah, it'll get more and more fine as we get on.
19-year-old Noah Rush is the youngest semi-finalist. At the Heats, he painted comedian Alex Brooker and produced a sculptural portrait that the judges felt was both confident and intuitive.
Noah, your sitter has got incredibly smooth skin. The light is coming and it leaves a certain sort of light on the skin. How are you coping with that?
It's definitely a challenge. I don't think I've ever seen anyone with skin so smooth.
I know.
But I'm finding my brushstrokes are much more fluid than normal, much smoother.
Is beauty difficult?
Sometimes, but it's useful to try and remove myself from the fact that it's actually a person.
Okay.
Their character usually comes through at the end without me sort of actively trying to get there.
Your eye-hand thing is much more instinctual than...
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Because, I mean, I've never been taught how to paint, so I don't really know what I'm doing. So I've just got to trust it.
Glad you're here.
Hello, Jude.
Hello.
I really love the way that you're kind of map making. So you've done this sketch in blue, and now the paint's going down in these fabulous big swirls. You're shape hunting, aren't you?
Yeah, that's it, exactly, yeah.
It's that time of day.
I just, like, the contours, the face.
Yeah.
I used to be obsessed with looking at anatomy books and the muscles under the skin
Seeing
and
what's
trying to...
underneath.
Yeah.
Jude Wainwright works in creative branding in Manchester. Her Heat portrait of comedian Henning Vane was commended by the judges for its use of colour and line in producing an intense character study.
How do you feel about time?
I panicked too much early on last time, and I said to myself coming in this time, just make every mark you put on, just double check in your head instead of blind panic.
Yeah. So at the moment, I can count the marks.
Yeah.
So it's easy at this stage. It's after lunchtime, it gets a bit harder to make every mark count.
Yeah. I just mean I didn't want to come in and go, put paint on canvas, quick.
Have you got a vision in your mind of what it's going to look like at the end of the day?
I just want to... No. I was going to try and come up with something really, like, articulate. No.
So it's a big occasion, and we've got a sitter who's dressed for a big occasion, which is fantastic.
She looks absolutely fabulous.
And there are some quite large canvases out there today.
Yeah, I think with each year, our artists realise us judges want more and more. They respond to this. They want to show us what they can do, and that's very exciting.
Rebecca has those fantastic earrings, sparkly shoulder things going on, the sequins on the dress. Is that a challenge for an artist?
You can spend a couple of weeks doing that, but it's a chance to show off, so hopefully we'll get a bit of that.
Right, well, I was going to wear that same dress today, so luckily for everybody.
I think you'd look great in it.
I do look great.
Nina, so glad to have you back with us. I'm looking for something poetic and haunting and soulful, and you've delivered already. The purple's beautiful, it works gorgeously with that dark red and the green, but they're quite sort of moody pieces that you create.
Yeah, Rebecca is definitely more of a glamorous character, really like sparkling, and everything is just really golden about her.
So who is this person?
I actually don't know. I just can't help it. It just happens.
Nina Ruminska is a professional artist from Poland living in Ireland. At the Heats, she produced an affecting portrait of musician Alexis French. Although she didn't win the Heat, the piece captivated the judges so powerfully that she was put through to the semi-final.
There will be a little twist at the end.
Do you know what it is?
I know, but should I tell you?
I think keep it a secret.
Okay. Hopefully that twist will bring something sparkly to the piece.
Oh, I don't know, though. I don't know how I feel about that, because I quite like the mood. No, you do exactly what you were going to do.
I'm gonna step back and have a quick think whether to do it or not, and then I'll see if that works.
Well, it's gorgeous. Love the tonalities. Well done. Keep going.
Thank you.
Wow. Tim, you went pink last time, didn't you?
I did go pink, yeah. I went lime green this time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like to start tasteless and then just take it down from there,
And
really.
work from there. Tim Tozer is an art professor who splits his time between the US and the UK. His Heat portrait of musician Suggs wowed the judges with its composition and use of colour. Before you had Suggs from an angle, now you're straight on. Is this an opportunity to show your versatility?
Or maybe it'll sink my battleship. This is really challenging to me.
Why?
I have no playbook for this one.
For straight on?
Well, yeah, and the set, and the dress, and the sitter. I realise how much I like informality and obliqueness, and so the opposite side to what I'm dealing with. Yeah.
But I love the way you work, because it's not always apparent what's going on to the rest of us.
I am trying to draw through shapes. I'm trying to find how they're going to sit on the canvas. If and how I get to Rebecca's head, it'll be like a sort of jewel in a crown, maybe.
I can't wait to see where all these, at the moment, seemingly random marks, I can't wait to see them coalesce into a thing of great beauty.
Oh, well, yeah, thank you, neither can I.
The artists are nearing the halfway point of their semi-final challenge.
The whole day is quite overwhelming. I almost feel like on the brink of tears, just like a lot of emotion going on.
So I said to myself, I would decide if I would go bigger if I see the set. And I'm glad I took the risk and did it, because I'm really happy with the portrait right now.
I have to confront the fact that it's a portrait, and therefore I probably have to paint a face. Fractions of a millimetre make a difference between it looking like somebody and looking like that person. So, yeah, I'm trying to get a face, which is really difficult at the moment.
Our semi-finalists are over 2 hours into painting a resplendent Rebecca Ferguson, who is doing her best to, well, stay awake.
When you're sitting this still, it's quite calming. And yeah, it's just an odd thing to do, because like you'd have a nap if you ever sat this still.
Have a little sleep if you want.
That'd be a funny one. I'd like the artist just to capture me, how they see me, really. And also, I like bold colours. I've got, like, a pastel blue kitchen, which is a bit out there for some people, but I like it. If the portraits incorporated these colours, it could be that there's a full-on portrait in my kitchen.
To secure a place in the final, it's the judges that the artists need to impress. So what do they think of their work so far?
Judges, we're halfway there, and we have the green lady sitting for us. What do we make of her as a sitter?
I think she's just doing a magnificent job. It's very regal today, actually, isn't it?
Absolutely, and she's really holding that pose, and they're all picking up on a sense of her presence. I've heard the word aura used, you know, so it's elevating for the artist as well as for the sitter, I think.
What is interesting is that each of them is following their own style.
Yeah, and it's very reassuring for us that what they did on the Heat and the self-portrait, there's the maturity to the style, and they can adapt it to a new situation as well.
OK, let's start with Jude.
Jude, of all of our artists, might suffer from the beautiful woman curse because she needs something to navigate. Hopefully this afternoon she can do all of the things that we know that Jude does to play and push and exaggerate and stylize and take us on a journey with the paint.
What about Owen?
I think a lot of the approach is the same approach that he took in The Heat, but he's also learnt a few things. So, for example, he's changed his palette so we don't end up with that muddy mixing of colours that we saw in Benjamin. But it's Owen. He's calm, confident, and, you know, a bit like Jude, he pulled through at the very last minute, actually.
They are the slow coach corner, though.
Yeah, well, there's Morag, too, because she is going her traditional way, and then still no colour on the canvas.
Yes, but with Morag, it's as much about that febrile outline as it is about colour.
Yeah, and it's kind of interesting to see how Morag will respond to that fantastic dark green. But it really is about the line, and the line takes a long time to get to where it is. And she works very slowly because there's a lot of stuff going on there.
Now, Tim has his own routine, a very bright colour, which disappears behind the portrait.
But I wonder if it's actually going to disappear that much today, this neon green, because I think he's interested in this kind of quite peculiar colour coming through and disrupting all of this warmth. And a lot of it looks really abstract and messy and unformalised.
I think he's struggling. You get a sense of the shape and the form of Rebecca, but he's literally going to be fighting with that face, I think.
Yeah.
Now, Noah is sitting face on to Rebecca, which is exactly what suits him, isn't it?
He's doing something that feels very direct and it feels sculptural. It's not particularly good-looking. I don't mind that. I hope that he can refine it slightly and lighten some passages, because it exists in a very dark tone at the moment. I just hope that there's something a bit lighter which speaks more to Rebecca. I don't need much, just a bit.
Now, Nina is the one who got away. I find her portrait of Rebecca's arm resting in her lap enormously poignant.
Yeah.
That's why Nina's here. She finds a way of sort of imbuing everything with a sense of nostalgia, in a strange way, and with beautiful sense of colour. And I think her composition is really sensitive. And Rebecca's head is appearing in this sort of gloomy mist, but really, it's just a stunning head, and there's very little there.
Now, Billy has gone for a very large head. I've always thought she was very good at body language.
You're quite right. I think that one of the things that was so special about her Stella Remington was that she caught something that you feel is underneath the skin. You know, what we have with Binny's portrait of Rebecca at the moment is a very fine head, but knowing that she can give us character as well, that's what I'm hoping we will see.
Now, Karen has gone for an absolute likeness. Almost photographic, isn't it?
Karen has made another piece of magic. It's like sorcery at Battersea Art Centre. I mean, fair enough, she'd had like 4 years, but it's 2 hours, and it corresponds so closely to the photograph, but at the same time, it corresponds to the real skin in front of you. So what's she going to do to demonstrate to us that this is more than technical, it's more than an extremely well-honed craft? Where's the artistry?
So we've got a busy afternoon ahead for the artists. What about you? Are you all going to have a struggle?
Well, I'm going to be stressing, I'm going to be chewing my nails and egging the artists on, because with some of them, I don't know where the path ahead lies, to be honest.
As the afternoon draws on, it's not only Ty who's feeling the stress. Hi, Jude. I'm here.
Hello, Stephen.
How are you getting on?
Yeah, I'm all
happy?
right. I'm having a wobble.
Right.
I went for a walk and looked at everyone else's.
Fatal mistake.
I know. It's just one of those moments. I'm sure it'll come together. I think it just looks a bit messy.
Why
yeah,
a
I've just got
mess?
to tighten it up, that's all. I mean, I've barely done the eyes
Right.
for start.
So is that where you're
That's
going
my
next?
jam.
That's your thing?
Yeah.
And if you're going to be a portrait painter, being into eyes is a great place to start, isn't it?
Isn't it just?
Get into the eyes.
Okie dokie.
Don't go for a walk and freak
Okie
yourself
dokie.
out.
Roger.
Right.
Thank you,
My work here is
Stephen.
done.
Tim, Rebecca's head is very small on here.
Yes.
But with drawing, the less space one has, the harder it is to get likeness.
Oh, yes. I've created a tremendous problem with creating a likeness. I mean, I've just set up something. Anyway, whatever. It's
But
like
you're dealing with it now.
I'm trying to. I have to find the mark, wrestle with the surface, try and locate the thing.
Is fighting with the thing.
I don't trust it unless it goes through some sort of crisis. I mean, I think I feel like I have to...
Earn it. Well,
Yeah.
it's nerve-wracking to watch, but I'm glad you're enjoying yourself.
In a weird Zen sort of pain before the pleasure way, yeah.
Doing something completely new in the semi-final could be hazardous, but one artist has taken the plunge in the hope of standing out.
Nina, where's this gold suddenly come from? It wasn't here earlier on.
That was the twist. I happened to have gold paint with me, and since there was gold in the background, I was like, just gonna give it a go.
And have you used gold paint before?
I actually never ever used this paint before, so it's just first time.
I love the risk. I love it. It's like you've got nothing to lose at this point.
Yeah.
With only 30 minutes left, it's time for our artists to fine-tune their portraits.
Sort of blocked everything in, and now I'm kind of working into it with a fine brush, adjusting very small bits so that I can get it to really, really look like her. I think I'm on track to get everything done on time.
It might not be the best likeness in the world, but I'm pleased it looks like a person. I just want to do the chin less pronounced, but I'm reasonably happy with that.
I think I'm happy with the likeness at the moment. Actually, maybe a bit more work on the hair to make it look a bit more solid. I think the worst thing that could happen is that I have a breakdown and paint overall, but hopefully that doesn't happen.
It's the last stages of the semi-final challenge to capture on canvas a very poised and sparkly Rebecca Ferguson.
Karen, for most of the day, you've been doing the most delicate, technically difficult work, and now you're hitting the canvas like a painter and decorator. What's going on?
I really like the set, that's why I wanted to include it as well. I think I have time.
I'm feeling the pressure, but like I'm also feeling a bit better about how my painting's going now, so that helps. But I've got to start working maybe a bit faster.
Time is running out, and I am trying not to think about it, because if I get stressed, I paint things and overdo things, and that's not what I want.
Artists, you have 5 minutes left.
I do have more work to do on it. I might just keep on painting until I can't do any more.
It's close. Just might make one more mark.
Artists, your semi-final challenge is over.
Please put down your brushes and stand away from your easels.
The last 4 hours might have been hard work for Rebecca, but now she faces an even harder job, deciding which painting to take home.
Rebecca, it's over. Your sitting is complete. Have you felt their eyes piercing into you?
I have. And I'm sorry if at times I was not keeping my chin up.
Artists, it's time to turn round your easels.
Wow. Amazing.
It's an array of Rebeccas.
That's amazing. The detail is so fascinating. It's like a photograph.
I tried to get the French portrait.
It's a very good likeness as well. Thank you very much. I love the background of it. It's lovely.
She's got the eye makeup.
She did. She's got the eye makeup and the good, strong brow. Scouse brow, as we call it. Yeah, it's lovely. Thank you. I love the flash of gold. It's a lovely artistic touch, yeah. And I love that you captured the dress. Thank you. It's fascinating, the different shades that you've used.
It's amazing, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's
All the
fascinating.
different colours
Yeah.
which he's found within your features, and they all add up to you.
Yeah, it's really cool. We're here in the studio, but you don't know where it is, and I personally like that, and that it's up to the viewer's imagination. You captured the shoe. Yeah, great.
Women always notice shoes.
Yeah, we notice the shoes, we do. I really love that you've captured the dress.
And it's exactly the right colour.
Yeah, it's subtle but beautiful. And you've captured me very well, so thank you. Amazing. I love the little details you've done. There's so many different colours in it.
I think I made you look older than you look. You look much younger than that.
Ah, that's cool. I love the swirls in it, actually. It's interesting how you do your brush stroke. It's fascinating, but really, really nice. Very well done. It's lovely.
Isn't it amazing that so much different talent can capture so many different aspects of you?
Yeah, you've all captured me in your own way.
Now, Rebecca, this is the moment of choice. You choose one to take home with you.
Ah, it's so hard. I'm like, which one? I don't know. So I'm literally probably just going to be basing it on what would look great on my wall.
Well?
So I'm going to pick the one in front of me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you very much. I was really surprised that Rebecca chose my painting. There were so many very, very strong ones that she saw herself in there. It was very, very gratifying.
As the semi-finalists get a chance to unwind, the crucial business of assessing their paintings begins.
Well, a wonderful day of high-intensity, hard graft by our artists have given us 8 fine portraits of Rebecca, but there can only be 3 that go through to the final.
I'm not sure who's judging who here. I feel like we're being judged by a very formidable empress or queen.
So, Jude, what do you make of her effort today?
I thought this morning she had done something that looked quite delicate and had a nice likeness. I think she could have been a bit more experimental, because when she does that, I think the work is stronger because you believe in those brush marks. But I love the expression that she's caught.
I love the way in which she dealt with the glitter, the sparkles. She sort of matted them down. She did them on her own terms.
Something about Morag's painting of Rebecca, I can't tear myself away from the head.
Well, I mean, Morag's is really fascinating, and everything's gone down in a particular way for a reason. It's very undone, but in its undoneness, it gives us a certain kind of fullness.
The mark making isn't just about recording what's there. There's a lot of thinking going behind it and emotional turmoil. So there are some very clumsy passages, but it doesn't seem to matter. We have just the sense of the person, and that's what great art is about.
Owen, did he struggle with the likeness?
When you're drawing from life, the slightest tilt of the head in the other way makes a drawing go off. But having said that, I love the way Owen puts paint down, especially in the skin and the building of the head. There's a joy in the substance of paint, and when you step back, it becomes a cheek or a nose. And I've always liked that when it sort of crosses those boundaries. So a nice bit of painting.
With Tim's, I'm in a dappled forest.
But it's kind of an apocalyptic forest with this quite crazy lime green coming through, which I think works fantastically well.
Are you happy with the portrait that has such a small head?
Yeah, I think I am. I mean, because it does look like her.
It's tricky, isn't it? Because there is such a small head there, but we've all created different stories around this person sitting in this space, which suggests that this portrait is telling us something about the person, and that's partly what a portrait should do.
Now, Noah's a fine painter, a young painter. Has he given us a wonky Rebecca?
I think Noah's very clever to give it a slight tilt, but what I particularly like about Noah's style of painting is unapologetic about the brush mark. Just needed some finer work to smooth some of those transitions.
I love the colours in Nina's portrait. Is it enough of a likeness?
No. But it's a great painting that I want to take home.
There is a likeness of Rebecca. It's not a particularly strong likeness, but I think it's so risky of her to paint with gold paint for the first time today, of all days. And she knew exactly how to deploy that paint. And it is a deeply affecting painting.
Binny knows what she's doing, doesn't she?
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised Binny went monumental. This is a big sculptural shape. And there's a kind of sadness to Rebecca here, which I thought was kind of interesting that you picked up on.
It's not just sadness, it's vulnerability. For all the grandeur and the presence that Rebecca had, there's a quiet nervousness and gentleness to her. So the fact that Binny managed to do that, I think just shows her to be a reliable artist, safe pair of hands.
Now, I have to ask you about Karen's technique. The realism that she employs, does that work against that flat background?
I think maybe it's a little bit too flat, but I really, really admire her for breaking away from what she normally does. But how did she do it in a day? I don't know. How does she make actual skin? I mean, I can't believe it's paint. She's an extraordinary talent.
It's just 4 hours.
Yeah.
4 hours with interruption. How long does it take you to do a portrait?
About 3 weeks.
Yeah.
All on my own, no interruptions.
Well, we have 8 artists in the semi-final. The final can only hold 3, so you have some deciding to do.
To help decide, the judges are given time alone with the portraits.
So these two are bankers.
Yes.
So then
The
it becomes...
issues to do with these two. I know which one I would take home.
Yes, me too. There's something immediate about that one, whereas this is more a pose and a certain sort of attitude.
There's this one for me. I feel like I could walk into a museum and see this in Vienna.
Yeah.
Great.
Artists, thank you for all your hard work today and for making it this far in the competition. It's been a real pleasure watching your work.
But as you know, only 3 of you can go through to the final, and the judges have made their decision. The first artist that they have chosen is... Morag Keister.
The second artist is Binny Matthews.
The third finalist is... Nina Ruminska.
Oh my God, it's just pure madness. I was dead and I was brought back to life. It's actually quite amazing. I'm delighted.
I just feel like blurry and fuzzy, and I'm just kind of in a state of disbelief at the moment. It's just unbelievable that it's happened. I'm really overwhelmed.
As 3 girls, female power, I think it's going to be a very level playing field. So what can I do? Just get my paints ready.
We've had a great day. We've got 3 amazing artists going forward. They all bring something different, but they're all good at connecting with their sitter, and I cannot wait to see what they're going to do in the final.